Faster Marty, good evening and welcome to the Manx Radio Folk Show with me, John Barker, playing you the best in folk and roots music from around the world and of course from the Isle of Man. To start today, let's take a trip to Salisbury Hill.
Salisbury Hill, I could see the city lights. Wind was blowing, time stood still. Eagle flew out of the night. He was something to observe. Came in close, I heard a voice, standing, stretching every nerve. Had to listen, had no choice. I did not believe the information, just had to trust imagination. My heart going boom, 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 son. He said, you could grab your things, they've come to take you home. I wasn't nuts, turning water into wine. Open doors would soon be shut, so I went from day to day. Though my life was in a rut, had to think of what I'd say, which connection I would cut. I was feeling part of the scenery. He said, you can grab your things, they've come to take you home. Way back home. Spin a net, never where I want to be. Liberty, she pirouettes until I think that I am free. Cast my empty silhouettes, who close their eyes and still can't see. No one taught them etiquette. I will show another me. I knew what the smile on my face meant. I did not need a replacement. My heart going boom, 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 son. I said, you could keep my things, they've come to take me home. Way back home. Way back home.
Well, that of course is Peter Gabriel's wonderful Salisbury Hill, but they're performed by the Urban Folk Quartet, and I'm sure some of you that came to see Dan Walsh at the Institute last year would have recognised Dan on banjo and vocals there. They're such a fantastic band. I said a couple of weeks ago their new album is not out till the new year, but they're selling it at their gigs at the moment. However, that particular track is available on your usual download services. There's also Dave Pegg on the bass on that particular track, but you can find a video of just the four of them performing it in what looks like a bookshop on YouTube. Our friend Tony Houston went up to Celtic Connections last year, and a band he was telling me that he really enjoyed were Liar Liar. They are Patsy Reed, Alice Allen and Marit Falt, and they've got a new track called Madeline Rose. Madeline Rose was a family friend to some of the band and was born of Scottish-French parentage, though in the city of York. A year after her birth, invisible difficulties that Maddie was born with took hold, and ability to speak and walk stalled, then disappeared never to return. So this is for her, Madeline Rose. That's a great track. Madeline Rose by Liar Liar. Now, as I'm sure regular listeners realise, I do always play at least one track of Manx music per show. There's fantastic stuff out there to choose from, but I do like to go in search of things I've not found before, so I thought I'd type Isle of Man into Bandcamp and see what I found. Well, the first thing I found was an hour-long electronic composition called Music for the Isle of Man by Roland Kine from the Netherlands. It's not folk music, it's very interesting, but I'm not going to play that for you. Then I found a band called Isle of Man from Budapest. Quite enjoyed it, but definitely not folk. A band called the Isle of Man from Ghent. Isle of Man from Argentina. Isle of Man from Utah. A song called Isle of Man by Kush. Now that one was recorded by our friend Jip Burgain here on the Isle of Man. They're an American band and again is a great song, not quite suitable for this show perhaps. And there's bands called Manx or The Manx from Gothenburg, Oregon and more. Eventually I found this. This is Sollies, which is an album gathering together 30 songs in Manx Gaelic. Mainly unaccompanied, they show a wide range of material currently being sung. Old words to new words to old tunes, as well as traditional music from the manuscript collections. It features 14 of the best known and highly respected traditional singers in the Isle of Man, and I'm going to play a few tracks from this tonight. We're going to start with Phil Gawne and Marish na Fiddlerin. Feel free to criticise my pronunciation.
Marish na Fiddlerin egan tred na holik. Eist hayak viet mi reis graim a chríle graiach hai sin sis kudjach gau singen tayak jenen suri. Vi du the egg vi buerkas ellen va mi carella fosa hias ta mi merenjach moras butjach ons liadien glathe gentjen ren we. Voshen ishen gus kjantri blina the menig vamias magrai michel and glevek falsa as tjenja vila nak tjenaki mish the breke gil. Macreeve again ol golgus of valja Harrow nia be an axir and doorsak van het skill heal me modelened the Roma Irish Ferrelia post. Ta dania try sevede galmach ta mele mare garachti de brach. Ta dania try sevede galmach ta mele mare garachti de brach.
I followed Phil Gawne with another voice that should be familiar to Manx radio listeners. That, of course, was Bob Carswell, and the song was Bulgham Sea Song. Next, let's have some polkas. Mary Malloy was telling me that they've broken the record for continuous polka playing at the sessions recently. They managed to break the previous record of 27 minutes of non-stop polkas by doing 30 minutes and 44 seconds in Peel the other weekend. Well done in particular to Paul Collister. So let's have some polkas. These are the Spare Leg Polka, the Kangaroo Polka and the Leitrim Rambler by Stockton's Wing. Well, I do hope you were up and dancing to that. And if you'd like to catch some polkas, reels, jigs, hornpipes, lots of different types of songs and all sorts of music live, you can go to one of the traditional sessions this week. They're at O'Donnell's on Wednesday night from around about 8:30, the Mitre on Friday night around about 8:30, Laxey Sailing Club on Sunday afternoon from 12:30 till 4. You could also go to the Folk Club in Ramsey on Thursday evening. Something a little more mellow now. This is a single called Heartwood, and it's by The Lost Words Spell Songs. This collective was conceived and commissioned by Folk by the Oak Festival, and it's a musical evolution of both the Lost Words and Spell Songs, books by acclaimed author Robert Macfarlane and award-winning illustrator Jackie Morris. The Spell Songs ensemble features multifaceted talent of Kareem Polwart, Julie Fowlis, Zeku Keita, Chris Drever, Rachel Newton, Beth Porter and Jim Molyneux, and they've got a new album coming out, which is a live album, recorded in, amongst other places, at the Natural History Museum, my favourite building in the whole of London. And as I say, this song is called Heartwood, and it was recorded there amongst the wonderful architecture and fantastic collections.
Would you hew me to the heartwood cutter? Would you lay me low beneath your feet? Listen to my sap mutter. Hear my heartwood beat. Would you throw me on a log pile cutter? Would you toss me to the steel saw blade? Listen to my leaves flutter. Hear my heartwood break. Would you rest your axe a while and sleep? Listen to the song I utter. Hear my heartwood weep. Hear my heartwood. Hear my heartwood. Hear my heartwood.
So following the Lost Words spell songs, I played for you that beautiful bit of music called Fiddler's Morris by Dipper Malkin. That's John Dipper on viola d'amore and Dave Malkin on guitar, and he's on voice elsewhere on the album, which is called Tricks of the Trade from 2017. Next, I'm going to play a track for you by Catherine Priddy. This is a song of hers called Indigo, and it was recorded for the Narrowboat sessions in 2018. I'll tell you more about those in 3 minutes and 20 seconds.
You were raised in a forest, it grew straight and tall. As you weave through the trunks, you felt desperately small. The taller you grew, the taller the trees, and you'd run home on muddy and graze both your knees. And there in the middle stood a tall slender beech. If you raised both your arms, you found you could reach the base of her branches, and upwards you swung. In forest she whispered as all her leaves sang to you. In those indigo eyes there's a child, the tides and the stars, they call out to you their runaway bride. Oh, come home now, darling, the journey is done. Your troubles are old for a body so young. You are the first and the last to climb up the tree. You slept in her branches, you whispered that she'd been there from the first. She'd be there till the end, and you'd weave her your stories of myths and pretend. And there in the night came a mighty great storm. Oh, her arms were outstretched as her body was torn. You cried when you found her, and after you fled, but nothing could silence the voice in your head. Oh, you. A breath cloud on a window, a shadow on the lawn, a leaf on the breeze, and a star in the dawn. Oh, the earth will forget you, to the stars you are known, and when this life's over, they'll herald you home.
Well, that was the wonderful voice and guitar playing of Catherine Priddy. I'm a big fan of hers, but that was recorded on a narrowboat in 2018, and Mark Holdsworth is the man behind the Narrowboat sessions. You can see all of his sessions that he records with lots and lots of different artists on YouTube, and there's albums that are released most years covering many of the artists who've recorded for him. Now, our friend Jo Garvin is an acquaintance of Mark, and when she met him the other week, she recorded an interview, and I thought you'd be interested in hearing that. It's a great opportunity for local musicians, not just folk musicians, to go and record a few songs, get themselves on YouTube, potentially get themselves on one of his albums. So let's find out how you do that.
What do you record and when?
Anything, and only in the summer. The problem is, as we're sitting in the front cratch at the moment, it is a floating tent, with lots of noise in the background. Problem with that is that after the end of September it gets just a little bit too cold for people to come and play. It's not fair on musicians trying to make their fingers do twiddly bits on the dusty end of a guitar when it's getting down to about 6 or 7 degrees. So we start recording at motorbike in the background. So we start recording end of May and we finish at the end of September. We squeeze 120 sessions in there.
What do you do with the recordings?
The first, everybody's videos go up, but the first one they do goes up within a few weeks of them having done their session. The next one will go up 4 months after that, or the 120 days, 120 sessions, and the final one 4 months after that. 3 songs per session, that's 360 songs per year. Okay, so that covers nearly every day of the year, and it allows me a few mistakes.
So what happens to the recordings?
Well, the recordings themselves, we do generate an album, double album, every year. But what happens is we have a bit of a lottery, because obviously 360 songs and only 36 of them are going to get onto the albums. So what I do is when it comes time, so we're now running about 3 years behind because of COVID, but I will listen to the entire year's music again, and I will choose my favourite song from every single session. So I've instantly dropped it from 360 back down to 120. Okay, I then go out and buy a book of 120 raffle tickets. I tear them off and bung them in a smelly old sock, and then draw 36 out the sock. If it comes out, I'll check to make sure that the people that have been drawn out are still happy to go on the album, and if they are, then they're on the album. It's as simple as that. There is no other way of doing it. If you think about it, otherwise it'd just be a choice of my favourite music.
And what happens with the albums? I mean, do you make a vast fortune out of it?
Unfortunately not, because nobody is buying CDs anymore. That's the issue. We are trying to get them put onto Bandcamp. That's in negotiation at the moment, so watch this space on that. Sadly this year I think we've only raised about 160 something pounds for cancer research, and last year it wasn't much more than that. I mean, the sale of CDs has been dying off. The 2019 album is about to come out. That hopefully will sell a few, but we're really hoping we can get that onto Bandcamp.
Why cancer research?
Well, there's lots of reasons for that. I mean, although my family have been touched by cancer, we've not ever lost anybody to cancer. But I had quite an interesting job in the forces, and out of the 16 of us that did my job, I'm the only one left alive now. 9 of them had died of cancer. That kind of brought it home to me. And of course, friends, starting with the lovely Maggie Boyle, of course. I mean, if it hadn't been for Maggie Boyle and her ex-husband Steve Tilston, this wouldn't have got going. Those very, very first sessions that they did for us gave us kudos. And of course, Maggie, bless her, after the session, she went home, had a quick nana nap because she was really poorly by then, and then she got up again and she phoned every musician she could think of within 100 miles of Hebden Bridge. So the next morning people were phoning up and saying, "Hi, is that Mark?" "Yes." "You've got a narrowboat with a recording studio on?" And well, yes, sort of, yeah. And oh, wonderful. Maggie Boyle's told me I've got to come down and do a session for you. Would that be okay? Brilliant, said I. So in the first year we did 67 sessions. The second year we did 96 sessions, but of course after that we've had to cap it at 120 sessions a year. But we get on average between 500 and 600 applications a year now. So we went, thanks to Maggie and Steve, from being completely unknown to now being the biggest unsigned acoustic platform in Britain now. So it's just bonkers.
So how do musicians from the Isle of Man get in touch with you?
Anybody that wants to play, all they've got to do is send us a direct message or a personal message from their personal page, not a music page, directly to the narrowboat sessions. We open the diary on the first Tuesday after Easter every single year. I am busy right up to Easter Day. The other problem is that to be able to plan our route, we need to know what the summer stoppages are, and the summer stoppages are announced on Easter weekend. So I can then say, right, we can't go there, so we can't do sessions there, but we can go here, and so we know what we're talking about. I don't like to go off half-cocked. Yeah.
How far do you go in the summer?
As far as we can, really. This year we went up near Kendal as far as we could. We did the famous Ribble Link, which was quite interesting, in a nearly 40-year-old boat with an old Lister diesel, fighting the tide in both directions. But no, the old girl, she swims well, so went straight up and down again with no great dramas.
So how long are you going to keep on doing this?
As long as I can, really. It's all down to health. Well, I've reacted badly to one of my vaccines, very badly, and I've had a few little heart attacks and things. But you live and learn, don't you?
And you keep going.
Keep going, yes, absolutely. It's only the good die young, you know.
So thanks to Joe Garvin for that interview with Mark Holdsworth of the Narrowboat Sessions. Do look online. You'll find all sorts of stuff there, including, I do believe, John Gregory. Let's have a couple more tracks from his recordings. First of all, I'll play Silver Dagger by Maggie Boyle and Steve Tilston. This was, as Mark said, the very first of the Narrowboat Sessions from 2014.
She's sleeping here right by my side, and in her right hand a silver dagger. She says that I can't be your bride. All men are false, says my mother.
want to go out the way I came in. Bury me naked, I want to go out the way I came in. I'd like to be reborn and hopefully sent to a place where admission is free. Nothing to pack for the journey, none of those meaningless fripperies, shiny things, all of that stuff I thought when I bought I so badly needed at the time. Bury me naked, I want to go out the way I came in. Bury me naked, I want to go out the way I came in. That's right. Weave me a casket made from old willow, tied up with string. Weave me a casket that's made from old willow and tied up with string. I hope where I'm going there'll be no need for little black dresses with earrings and beads, clothes to impress, to delight, to deceive. Every last one I'll bequeath, all the glad rags, the handbags, yes, and more shoes than anyone could possibly wear in one lifetime. Bury me naked, I want to go out the way I came in. Oh, bury me naked, I want to go out the way I came in. A small musical interlude. La-da-dum, 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 la-da-da-da. La-da-dum, la-da-dum, la-da-da, la-da-dum, la-da-da-da. Lay me to rest on yonder blue mountain and I'll say good night. Lay me to rest on yonder blue mountain and I'll say good night. No tears for me, don't feel sorrow or pain. I'll take nothing with me, not even my name. Sing me a tune with a happy refrain, one of those old-fashioned melodies. Thanks for the memories. Ha! Bring a smile to my eyes, bring me sunshine by Markham and Wise. Bury me naked, I want to go out the way I came in. Come on, lads. Bury me naked, I want to go out the way I came in. With feeling. Bury me naked, I want to go out the way I came in. Last time. Bury me naked, I want to go out the way I came in.
That was the last track I'm going to play from the Narrowboat sessions. That was Merry Hell with Bury Me Naked from 2017. And don't forget, you can go onto YouTube and find the Narrowboat sessions and see those tracks and many, many other tracks from the last 10 years. I'm going to play you now a track from a couple of years ago I heard on a different radio station. This is Applecross, spelt Apple X, by Glyn, a band from Glasgow.
Fáil im a graid a fear as inrich as a bhúb a cear a lag. Trogatons looked I fear gajolach hug a graid a ben ag buech. I had rumbud a savanish, comrade the stommer as Eddie and mean, henken skimmy peressa chessen puster ein verish a cheen. Huggy muyen velvet scarlet, high mac yak lug a grai, musket chroggy a girl and pistol kya wheel yaur as cry, renny all along my shoulder go and enem Richard Carr, as a laucho ben as lily bruch as solid flesh and tar. Ma the droppel en a louten govrach master de chulien nen, heitchen gehen peri voi rooster o Christjak te ben. Doet a captain vence hoya cren or henk shoen en long, van ma grivin goite rijden tam mi shera era hon. Doet a captain vence hoya cretan en me vence chrij, doet die Illiam a tailor eschen Elien van en henke vai. Mertan en Merilliam a tailor, as a Cillian van en vei, he shoe eschen ginra whale, jikte chituder a try, Jerry moche onse vore, begen roche ve brisher en le, as vi fagen Illiam den a shoemach merish a vence. Dilly sanglioi has pistol, hog at limas a voy, lig as liggy Illiam den as a chesher a sheroi, gowan Captain Gesmet hookesh boger a goilen a renny jima arada harish long, as dainya hoge g.
And that was another track from that album, Solace, released by Culture Vannin. And there you heard Julie Matthews singing Illiam E. Taylor. Lots of great stuff on there. Well, that's about all I've got time for tonight. Don't forget you can get in touch by emailing folkshow@manxradio.com. Get out and support some live music this week. And I'm going to leave you with another track from Stockton's Wing. This is The Mason's Apron. See you next week.